It is 2 in the morning in Beijing. Hundreds of Chinese warships start moving toward Taiwan, the small island that sits just 100 miles off China's coast. Thousands of missiles are already in the air. In Washington, it is 1 in the afternoon. The president's phone rings. The message from the war room is 3 words. China has invaded. What America does in the next few hours will determine whether Taiwan survives or whether China rewrites the rules of the entire Pacific. And the good news, if you can call it that, is that America already has a plan. It has been war-gamed, funded, and in many cases, physically put in place. Here is what that plan actually looks like. The moment China attacks, the US military does not sit and wait for a decision from Washington. There are pre-approved plans that kick in automatically. America's military headquarters for the entire Pacific, based in Hawaii, immediately starts repositioning forces. US spy planes and satellites begin feeding a live picture of the battlefield to commanders. And most importantly, American submarines that are already quietly patrolling the Pacific get their orders and start moving toward Taiwan. No press conference, no public announcement, they just go. Meanwhile, in Washington, the President and the Secretary of Defense are being briefed. They have a menu of options in front of them. But the military is already in motion before that meeting is even over. This is the part most people have never heard of. And it has a name that America's top Pacific commander said out loud, on purpose, to send a message to Beijing. Admiral Samuel Paparo, commander of US Indo-Pacific Command, said in 2024 that he wanted to turn the Taiwan Strait into an unmanned hellscape to make China's lives utterly miserable for a month, buying time for everything else to arrive. Here is what hellscape actually means in plain English. The stretch of water between China and Taiwan is about 100 miles wide. A Chinese invasion force has to cross that water on ships and landing craft, and that crossing takes hours. Every hour in open water is an hour of danger. America's answer is to already have thousands of unmanned drones in the air, on the water surface, and underwater, pre-positioned in that strait, ready to activate the moment China's fleet starts moving. No carrier needed, no pilot in danger, just thousands of cheap, expendable machines creating chaos for China's most expensive ships. The program behind this is called Replicator. The Pentagon spent over $1 billion building these systems specifically for this scenario, and as of August 2025, the first wave of Replicator drones hit their deployment deadline. Here is the economic logic that makes this approach so compelling. One of these attack drones costs around $70,000. One Chinese warship costs close to $1 billion. America can flood the strait with 10,000 drones for the price of a single Chinese destroyer. The United States has already sold over 1,000 armed drones to Taiwan as part of the Hellscape framework, according to the US Naval Institute in April 2025. The goal of Hellscape is straightforward. Make the invasion so slow and painful that it buys America 1 full month. 1 month is all they need for everything else to arrive. Here is something that gets almost no coverage, but matters enormously. American military personnel are already stationed on Taiwan, training Taiwan's military, maintaining American weapons systems, and advising Taiwanese commanders. These troops are not there to fight China's entire army. They are there because of a simple reality. If even one American soldier is killed in a Chinese attack on Taiwan, the political pressure on a US president to respond becomes almost impossible to resist. Their presence creates what strategists call a tripwire, a mechanism that automatically pulls America into the conflict the moment it starts. Beyond people, America has been steadily shipping weapons to Taiwan for years. There is currently a backlog of $32 billion worth of American weapons approved and in the pipeline for Taiwan, including missiles, rocket systems, and air defense batteries. American equipment, often maintained by American contractors, is already on the island. While the drones are doing their job in the strait, America's other forces are racing to the scene. Submarines arrive first. They are already close, already underwater, and already hard to detect. They carry cruise missiles that can hit Chinese ships from far enough away that China's weapons cannot easily hit back. Every wargame run by American military planners identifies submarines as the single most effective US weapon in the opening days of a Taiwan conflict. Long-range bombers come next, flying from Guam, which is America's main military hub in the Pacific and sits about 1,800 miles from Taiwan. These aircraft carry missiles designed specifically to sink ships from distances beyond China's reach. Then comes the hard question. What about aircraft carriers? America has 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, more than the rest of the world combined. But here is the problem. China has spent 25 years building one specific weapon, a ballistic missile designed to hit aircraft carriers from over 1,000 miles away. Sending a carrier into range of those missiles is an enormous risk. America's military planners have been quietly debating for years whether carriers should charge toward Taiwan or stay back and support from a distance. There is no clean answer to this question. Japan has over 50,000 American troops on its soil and a direct stake in this fight. If China controls Taiwan, China's military suddenly sits right next to Japan's southern islands. Japan's Prime Minister said publicly in 2025 that a Chinese attack on Taiwan would be a survival threat for Japan itself. Japan is not staying out of this. The Philippines recently opened 4 of its bases to the US military. Those bases sit directly along the route Chinese ships would need to travel to supply an invasion of Taiwan. And Australia, under the AUKUS agreement with the US and the UK, is acquiring nuclear-powered submarines and sharing advanced military technology. The alliance around Taiwan is broader and more prepared than most people realize. America's military response is not the only thing that hits China. The moment an invasion begins, America would trigger the largest package of economic penalties in history, cutting China off from the global banking system, blocking its technology imports, and freezing its overseas assets. But here is the thing. This weapon hurts both sides. Taiwan makes 92% of the world's most advanced computer chips, the ones that go into everything from your phone to military equipment to cars. The moment fighting starts on Taiwan, that supply stops. Global tech supply chains break. Prices spike everywhere. This is not just a Taiwan problem or a China problem. It hits American consumers directly. America has real advantages here. Its submarines are the best in the world. Its missiles are proven, performing extremely well in the Iran conflict of 2025 and 2026. Its alliance network in the Pacific is stronger than at any point in decades. And China has never fought a major war. Its military, despite enormous investment, has zero real combat experience. But America also has documented gaps. After the Iran war, the US had burned through more than half of its stock of some key missile defense interceptors. The total supply of long-range anti-ship missiles sits at fewer than 500, not enough for a long fight. And the factories that make these weapons cannot replace them quickly. The Center for Strategic and International Studies reported in May 2026 that the Iran conflict depleted over 50% of America's pre-war stock of some missile defense interceptors, and rebuilding takes years, not months. The honest picture is not a clean American victory. It is a close, dangerous, expensive conflict that neither side would walk away from easily. So what will America do if China attacks Taiwan tonight? It will activate its drone Hellscape in the Taiwan Strait. It will launch its submarines. It will fire missiles from Guam. It will coordinate with Japan and the Philippines. It will hit China economically as hard as it hits it militarily. And it will face the hard decisions, including the carrier question, that have no perfect answer. What it will not do is nothing. The troops on the ground, the weapons already delivered, the alliances already in place, they all make non-intervention almost impossible the moment the shooting starts. The question is not whether America has a plan. It clearly does. The question is whether that plan is enough. And the uncomfortable truth, the truth that keeps defense analysts up at night, is that nobody knows. Not in Washington, not in Beijing, not in Taipei. That uncertainty on all three sides is the only thing standing between the uneasy peace we have today and the most dangerous conflict since World War II. Do you think America's plan is good enough? Or has China already figured out how to defeat it? Share your thoughts in the comments below.